In the grand mosaic of the cosmos, where civilizations rose and fell with the regularity of tides, Earth remained blissfully oblivious. Humanity, absorbed in its internal squabbles and technological marvels, hadn't noticed the storm brewing on the galactic horizon. Their insular world was shattered on a crisp autumn morning. A colossal vessel, defying any known design principle, breached the veil of Earth's atmosphere. It was not a warship, sleek and bristling with weaponry, but a titanic ark, crude and scarred. No hails of fire fell from it, only a desperate transmission, cutting through the babble of human communication wavelengths. "We are the Ilari. We seek sanctuary." Panic crackled like ozone in governments and militaries across the globe. Xenophobia reared its ugly head, calls for preemptive strikes echoing in the corridors of power. But amidst the chaos, threads of reason prevailed. Scientists, ever driven by curiosity, argued for contact, for the chance to understand this unprecedented arrival. The first delegation ascended into the heavens with trepidation and hope in equal measure. What they discovered within the alien vessel was a world in a desperate microcosm. The Ilari weren't warriors, but a nomadic, deeply empathetic race, their vast bodies more akin to sentient plants than humanoid forms. Their advanced technology flowed from a symbiotic relationship with a bioluminescent fungus-like species that clung to their hides, its tendrils interfacing directly with Ilari nervous systems. But their gardeners, as they called the glowing symbiotes, were dying. Millennia of ceaseless flight had pushed them to the brink, and their homeworld was lost beneath the relentless march of the Ravagers. The Ravagers, that name alone, sent a chill down the collective spine of humanity. A single-minded insectoid species whose sole drive was to consume and conquer, leaving behind swaths of dead worlds. The Ilari were only the most recent victims in their relentless galactic purge. And if the refugees' estimates were accurate, the Ravagers were mere years from Earth's doorstep. Fear became a catalyst. Humans, no strangers to survival against overwhelming odds, extended a hand to the Ilari. Laboratories became shared spaces, filled with the quiet hum of medical scanners and the animated debates of biologists from two worlds. They discovered a horrifying truth: the gardener organisms were deteriorating beyond repair, slowly poisoning the Ilari themselves. Survival demanded innovation. In a hidden facility, an audacious solution was born. Human ingenuity would interweave with Ilari biology. Scientists, spurred on by the imminent threat of the Ravagers, delved into gene editing and cybernetic augmentation. Working against the clock, they created a new type of symbiosis. Dr. Evelyn Zhang, a renowned bioengineer, spearheaded the project. Nights turned to days as her team adapted advanced cybernetic implants to interface directly with the Ilari's unique physiology. It was more than simply replacing the gardener's role in ship function. It was about creating a bridge where technology and biology became one. The first subject was matriarch Aravili, the eldest of the Ilari. Ancient, tired eyes watched with a mix of resignation and unwavering hope as human doctors meticulously attached glistening nodes along her trunk like limbs. The initial link-up was tense, artificial implants responding to the unfamiliar rhythm of an alien body. But then, with a flicker that washed over the room in soft blue light, it took. Systems came online, ship diagnostics and life support controls responding to Araveli's neural commands with newfound precision. What emerged, however, transcended mere functionality. Zhang and her team bore witness to a transformation. Age-dulled reflexes honed to a razor's edge, Araveli's perception expanding to encompass the ship as an extension of her own body. It was a breakthrough, a beacon in the looming darkness. The hybrid technology, raw and experimental, held the promise of rejuvenating the fleeing Ilari and empowering their ark with an adaptability it never possessed. But time, as always, was their enemy. Word of the project leaked, as secrets tend to do in moments of existential crisis. Fearmongers seized upon the imagery of alien-human hybrids, stoking old hatreds, while outside forces maneuvered, seeing in the Ilari a vulnerability to be exploited. Humanity fractured, some welcoming the refugees with open arms and seeing common cause, others recoiling in disgust, even turning their weapons on the joint project in the name of preemptive safety. Even amidst the internal turmoil, the work continued. Ilari volunteers, with quiet dignity, faced the uncertainties of human augmentation. One by one, they transformed, their immense forms bristling with nodes, implants and conduits that pulsed in rhythm with their symbiotic glow. The ark itself underwent a metamorphosis. Biosteel wove into its structure, directed by enhanced Ilari. Defensive systems, powered by bleeding-edge human batteries, sprouted like thorns. By the time the first tendrils of the Ravager swarm pierced the edge of the solar system, a change had come over the refugees. They were no longer just the fleeing Ilari, they were a chimera of two species, their combined strengths a defiant answer to the relentless insectoid tide. The first battle was brutal. The Ravager ships carved into the human Ilari defense line with horrifying efficiency, but for every hybrid that fell, taking dozens of the enemy with them, they learned. Human adaptability blended with Ilari resilience, turning the tide through desperate stratagems and sheer tenacity. The Ark, once a lumbering haven, was now a weapon. Augmented Ilari focused the power of human reactors to unleash blasts that vaporized Ravager fighters. Ship-wide tendrils grappled the larger insect vessels, biohackers working in tandem with human coders to sow chaos in their systems. It was a testament to how far both races had come, with humans shedding their petty differences and embracing a true coalition, and the Ilari putting aside their peaceful heritage to defend their new home. The Ilari-human hybrid wasn't just technology, it was a symbol. The war raged in the outer reaches of the solar system. The Ravagers, surprised by the resistance, regrouped, their insectoid minds struggling to parse the impossible enemy they now faced. And while humans and Ilari fought tooth and nail, buying precious time, deep within the hidden labs, the next phase of the project reached fruition. Doctor. Zhang stood before a birthing tank, her face a mask of strained hope. Within, a new Ilari grew, but this one had never experienced the touch of a gardener symbiote. Instead, cybernetic clusters covered its developing form, a web of gleaming metal in place of organic light. When the young Ilari emerged, blinking in the harsh light, the project was no longer a hope. It was a future. The hybrid technology, woven in from birth, held the potential to free the Ilari entirely from their dwindling symbiosis, and the limitations that came with it. The Ravagers, relentless as ever, were coming. They would push, devour, and crush until there was nothing left. But standing against them, born from desperation and cemented in the fires of war, was something new. A defiant blend of machine and organism, compassion and ingenuity. They would protect Earth, yes, but they would also push back, driving into the darkness to liberate those still suffering under the Ravager heel. The tide would turn, and in the vanguard would be the shining example of what two races could accomplish when driven by the greatest motivator of all survival,